Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the second part of our mini-series where me and Bhelock show you how that you can get to level 60 faster, richer, and safer. In this second part, we will discuss how that you can get to level 60 much richer. So if you like to make gold, definitely stick around.
Hey, I love making gold.
Oh, me too! One of the easiest way that you can make money is to start picking up everything that you can on the NPCs that you kill, whether you are questing, grinding, running dungeons, or anything else. And the earlier that you start that, the better, because the few extra silvers that you can make at an early level will have a great impact on your fortune later on.
So you better start shift right-clicking every single shiny corpses that you see.
Exactly. To make sure you get the most out of that though, invest in your bags as soon as you can. By being able to carry more items a lot earlier, you will greatly increase your potential fortune in the future. And don't get me wrong, buying new spells is important, especially early on, but definitely plan money on your budget so that you can keep upgrading your bags. So from 6 and 8 slot bags, continue to buy bigger ones until you have a full set of 16 slot bags, such as Traveler's Backpacks. And that also includes the ones that are in your bank slots. So you'll be good with this one?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll AFK.
You will turn in many quests in your early levels, and many of them will give you unwanted BOPs. In that case, you want to select the highest valued items to vend them. Here, I made you a list to help you prioritize certain items for maximum revenues. But you will have to pay for it first though. All good. So, all weapons. They all vendor for a high amount, and if ever you have to choose, give priority to range weapons, two-handers, and shields. As far as the armor goes, the heavier the armor, the better, so look out for plate and mail, but that doesn't mean to leave out leather and cloth either. Gears that give a lot of stats will also have a high value, so choose helms, shoulders, chest pieces, and pants when possible. Lastly, jewelry items are the rarest ones you will find, so jump on any rings, trinkets, and necklaces that you find. So how was it?
Oh, it was great. Hey, here's your Dwarven Stout. Enjoy.
Cheers!
If you want to make a steady stream of gold while leveling, then having a gathering profession is the way to go. And the best time to train that gathering profession is on your first trip to a capital city or before level 10. The reason is that you want your skills to catch up to your level so that you can always make money from that gathering profession wherever you go. And as far as a crafting profession is concerned, you can have one and level it up on the side, and when you finally have your mount at level 40, then I suggest that you invest into it so that you can get it as close to 300 skills by the time you hit level 60. And trust me, you will have a lot of time in that window from level 40 to 60.
And if you want to make a lot of gold, you can take 2 gathering professions. But don't be a noob and choose mining and herbalism though. One of them has to be skinning, as you can't have more than one resource tracker on at the time. And I mean, beasts are pretty much everywhere and very easy to locate.
Very good point. And please do not overlook secondary professions. Train at the very least first aid, as it is very good in helping you keep up the pace while questing, and it is very easy to level up with all of the cloth that you will get along the way. And even though fishing might be a waste of time for some people, it can allow you to get fish that are quite important for raiding consumables. And don't forget that training cooking will give you access to more quests.
And you'll never have too many of those.
When it comes to buying new spells, only buy the ones that are needed, as every class has a bunch of different spells that you don't need while questing, especially if you play a class that can have more than one role, such as a druid, a paladin, a priest, a shaman, and a warrior. If you do not plan on tanking or healing any dungeons, then don't bother buying every single spell. For example, as a paladin, you probably don't need all of your protection auras, righteous fury, and blessing of sacrifice right away. And for a priest, fade, renew, and shadow protection aren't that big of a priority while leveling. All of those spells will come in handy when you hit level 60 and you will need those, but in the meantime, you can live without them. So remember that if an item is of green quality, or even white in some cases, or higher, strongly consider selling it on the auction house, as you will see that green BOEs can make you a lot of gold.
Oh yeah!
So we will discuss how to identify which items are good for the auction house and those that should be vendored or disenchanted right away. So let's get started with the Crusader's Helm of the Monkey. Headpiece, male, 14 stamina and 14 agility. Requires level 48. This is a very good item as it has both a lot of stamina and a primary stat. It is also post level 40, so hunters and I would assume shamans would be very interested in that item. It is also still good for paladin and warriors, as sometimes male items are still better than plate in that level zone. Doesn't mean because you have access to better type of gears that they are always better. It's always about the stats that are on them. And you always want to have a lot of stamina while questing, so that it allows you to have a lot more health that you can use to fight harder mobs and or run away and reset bad pulls.
And what rhymes with questing? You're right. Ganking. Do not ever forget that.
Definitely not. Now let's move on to the blood-spattered sabatons of war. A pair of boots, male, 2 spirit and 3 strength. Now this is an average item because it has a primary stat for male wearers and also a secondary stat, but that secondary stat is not as good as it could be. This piece of gear is obviously better than any other piece of gear with only 3 strength on it, yes, but not as impactful as it could be if it had stamina instead of spirit on it. Therefore, the choice to put it on the auction house really comes down to your mood and or the time and the gold that you have to spend on that item.
Yep, I have nothing to add to this.
And now, lastly, the shimmering boots of the falcon. A pair of boots, cloth, 3 agility, and 2 intellect. Now, this is a trash item as these boots have a primary stat for cloth wearers, but it is first of all the lowest one on the item, and the other one, the agility, is almost useless. Granted, it would be a lot worse if it was strength, for example, but the armor and the dodge that it provides doesn't do much for them.
And here are some free bonus examples for each category.
There you go, enjoy! And when it comes to putting items on the auction house, I strongly suggest you that you put them on for 24 hours as it allows you to be steadier with your auctions and it also creates a routine for you. And you get your deposit back once you sell an item anyways, so even though it is a little bit bigger than the ones for 2 or 8 hours, it doesn't really matter at the end.
And I suggest that if you loot rare or epic items while leveling, that you sell them on the auction house, as blue and purple items can make you a lot of gold, and having the versatility of using that gold on whatever you want might be better than being stuck with the soulbound item.
Great point again. In conclusion, I wanted to take the time to share 2 screenshots with you guys that were taken when I was leveling my warrior. These are to show you an example of how much gold that you can generate with all of the tips that we have shared with you today. But it should be taken with a grain of salt though, as that was on a private server and the Blizzard servers might have scarcer resources, different drop rates and such. But it is nonetheless a little motivation that I wanted to share with you guys to show you basically that it is not all that hard to make gold. And take note that by the time I had level 60, both of my professions were already at 300 skills, and that it was all self-made. Therefore, I did not send any gold from my other characters to inflate the numbers that you see. So, that's it for this video, guys. We hope that you've enjoyed the tips that we have shared with you today and that you have learned something from those. And as always, if you like the content and you would like to see more, don't forget to like and subscribe, as you don't want to miss any of the upcoming content. Talking of upcoming content, stay tuned for part 3 of our series that will cover how to level much safer. So, as always,
Have a good one!
and stay blessed.